Greetings, children. Welcome. So today we're talking about adding and subtracting polynomials. The best part of this lesson is you've already done it. You've done it for this whole year. You did it in pre-algebra, so it's a skill that you probably already have. So we're just going to review a few things, make sure everybody's caught up. So let's take a look. The first thing we need to review is what like terms are. So let's pick a term, 5x squared. Okay, so here I'm going to write terms that are like 5x squared. So that's going to be on this side. So terms that are like 5x squared, let's go 6x squared, negative 2x squared, 3x squared, negative 11x squared. Here's a fan favorite, 20 million x squared. You can have fractions like 2/3 x squared. You can have square roots, so square root of 5x squared. You can have decimals, 0.111 x squared. So it's any number, positive or negative, decimal or fraction. It doesn't really matter if it's rational or irrational, times that variable, and that makes it a like term. So terms that are not like. So let's look at some terms that are not like 5x squared. 5x is not like x squared. Remember, to be like terms, they have to have the same variables, each raised to the same power. So 5x wouldn't be because it's an x instead of x squared. Let's say we have 2xy, just x, negative xyz. So you can see the ones that are not like are ones that don't have x squared. So like terms all have x squared in them. Terms that are not like or unlike terms that are unlike 5x squared, are things that don't have an x squared. It's that simple. So when you're adding polynomials, remember that a polynomial just has terms. It could have one term. It could have 20 terms. Poly means many, so it can have any number of terms. So when you're adding polynomials, you just combine the like terms. So combining like terms means that you add the coefficients or subtract, depending on what the sign is, add or subtract the coefficients of your like terms. So let's say we had this, 3x squared plus 5x squared minus 2x squared. So we're going to combine the coefficients here because these three are all like terms. So we would have 3x squared plus 5x squared is 8x squared. And then 8x squared minus 2x is 6x squared. So our answer is 6x squared. Now, not all of the polynomials will just be a single term like those. So you might have a polynomial here, let's say 5x plus 3y, and then another polynomial here that you're adding, 2x minus 10y. Now, if you're given your polynomials like this where they're in parentheses, then you can remove the parentheses if you're adding or subtracting, as long as you follow these simple rules. If you're adding or subtracting two groups, you can remove the parentheses. If there's nothing in front of it, you can just remove the parentheses and nothing changes. If there's a plus sign in front of it, you remove the parentheses and nothing changes. None of the signs change. So both of these examples, we had 5x plus 3y, still have that. Here we have 2x minus 10y, so we have plus 2x minus 10y. Notice, this one was positive inside the parentheses, still positive. This one said minus, still minus. So now we can combine like terms. A lot of times it helps to rearrange these. So we're going to rearrange it, 5x plus 2x. So we got this part, we got this part. And then we have 3y minus 10y. And now we're going to combine the like terms here. So we have 5x plus 2x is 7x. And then we have 3y minus 10. Well, 3 minus 10 is negative 7, so we have minus 7y. So we had 7x minus 7y. So that's our first one here that we've looked at that has multiple terms. So now we have 5x plus 3y plus this other polynomial, 2x minus 10y. And you can see we combined the parts that were the same. We did it by removing parentheses first, rearranging them, and then combining the like terms. Now let's look at an example with subtracting polynomials. So let's say we're subtracting here, and I'm going to change this up a little bit. Let's say we just have x here, and then we have minus, let's do 5x over there. So we said that to remove the parentheses, you can to remove the parentheses, you just have to follow some simple rules. And one of them was if it's a plus sign or if there's nothing in front of it, you can just remove. But if there's a minus sign in front of it like this one, then you have to change all the signs inside. So once again, if you're adding or subtracting two groups that are in parentheses, if there's nothing in front of the group, if it's the first group, then you can just write it without the parentheses, because it means that it's positive 1 times that group. Over here, since it's minus, it's like having negative 1 times everything. So we're going to have minus 5x plus 10y. Once again, I'm going to rearrange, so we have x minus 5x plus 3y plus 10y. Now x minus 5x is negative 4x. 3y plus 10y is plus 13y. So you can see this is very similar to stuff that we've been working on throughout the year. This is a skill that you probably already have. So this section is just a good review to summarize some things that you already know, some good practice with adding and subtracting polynomials. Let's go ahead and do one more that's a little bit more complicated, and then we can wrap it up. So let's say we had this one. It's 5a plus 2b minus 3c plus 2a minus 5c minus 3a minus 2b, or maybe not 2b. That's the question. Well, we'll leave it. And then minus 10c. Okay, so that's our problem. You can see it's a lot bigger. There's just more variables. There's a, b, and c. There's more polynomials. There's 3 polynomials here. So let's go ahead and try this. This one, since we're adding and subtracting, we can remove these parentheses by just removing the first one, 5a plus 2b minus 3c. This next one has a plus sign, so we can just remove it and write the terms just as they were. But this next one has a minus, so we're going to change all the signs. So it's minus 3a plus 2b plus 10c. Now we're going to rearrange. Here's an a, so 5a. Here's an a plus 2a. Here's an a minus 3a. Make sure you're keeping the sign with it. So it's a group. That's why we have 5a plus 2a minus 3a. The sign stays with it. And then the next one, oh, this is supposed to be 2b, but I did not write 2b. Jeez. All right, so next we have 2b, so plus 2b. There was no b in this middle one, right? It was just a and c. So then we have plus 2b again over here. So we got those, and all that's left is minus 3c minus 5c plus 10c. So now we can combine the ones that are like terms. We have 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. So 4a. And then 2 plus 2 is 4 for the b, so plus 4b. And then we have negative 5, or negative 3 minus 5. That's a negative 8c. And then negative 8 plus 10 is plus 2c. So our answer is 4a plus 4b plus 2c. So that's about all there is to it here. You're combining like terms. You're working with polynomials. As I said earlier, most of this is stuff that you've already done, you've already thought through, you already know how to do. So hopefully should be a nice easy day for you guys. Have a great day.